Hi, welcome to Myers ASMR. How are you? Relax, relax. Shake off that stress and that mess. I'm so glad to see you as usual. Hey, get into the receptive mode of what you want. Get into the receptive mode. The receptive mode of what you want. Get ready to receive it because it's on its way. You've done the work. You've done the work of wanting and asking. Now the last step is just to receive and allow. I'm going to receive and allow this beautiful tuna sandwich that I just made. I know, I eat a lot of tuna on this channel. And I say that every time because I just can't get enough. But I try to space it out so it doesn't look like every other week she's eating a tuna sandwich, you know what I mean? So, anyways, let's go. I think this bread is called ciabatta. I chose it for its shape and its softness. Because, you know, sometimes those hard breads, they hurt to eat. Whew, it's got a lot of stuff on here. It's good. And that sharp cheddar cheese gives it a nice bit of added flavor. It's a little bit of tang. I did put a little dressing on it. I forgot what it's called. It's not ranch. It might be a creamy Caesar dressing. I try to keep it neat and clean. You know, I've never been one to leave a mess behind at restaurants. Look, I used to work those jobs, so even if it's a job, it doesn't mean it's pleasant to clean up garbage. especially a mess, like an unnecessary mess. I can understand with children that's different. Probably the easiest way to eat tuna is on wrapper bread or pita bread. Something where it's not falling out all over the place. Hey, tell me, what are the best Broadway plays to see? Thou shalt waste no tuna. Yeah, it takes work to keep this thing neat and from falling all over the place. And it's not fully toasted because I was too hungry to wait. So I took it out of the toaster before the bread had a chance to get crispy. So it's got grated carrots, salad greens, tomato. I feel like I'm always hungry for a tuna sandwich. Like, I seriously can never get enough. I mean, I don't eat it quite that often. But I crave it a lot. I'm glad I'm almost finished because this took effort to keep it neat and clean. Oh, I taste the black pepper I put in it. Also sprinkled some oregano because you know I love the flavor. This tea has oat milk creamer. It's the pumpkin spice flavor creamer. It's good, but don't expect it to taste like half and half. And those types of creamers, because it's not that. but it's sweet and creamy, so I like it. Ooh, I have a pot of split pea soup on the stove that I want to go check on, make sure it's not boiling over. So I'm gonna pause this. I'll be right back. You know, that soup's been on the stove cooking for a couple of hours now, and it's still not ready. And see, if you don't soak your beans overnight, or at least for a few hours, it could take a really long time, and that's something I forgot to do. I did not soak my dry peas overnight like I should have. Completely forgot. Honestly, I wasn't even sure that I was even gonna make the soup. Anyways, it just slipped my mind. So now I'm paying the price. Split pea soup could take like probably at minimum 4 hours on a tiny flame, because if you put the flame up even medium, it could boil over. And believe me, I've done it. You know, messed up my stove top because the pot, even on a tiny flame, you gotta watch it, it boils over. And what I do is the lid, I leave it cracked a little bit. I don't put the lid totally flat on the pot. The thing is, if you don't put a lid at all, then it takes forever. You might as well have that thing on the stove for 8 hours, because that lid traps in the heat more. But the thing is, if there's no air that can escape just a little bit, then it could boil over. The thing is, even when the lid is cracked, it still boils over on me. So even on a tiny flame, so you gotta watch that thing. You know, it's a balancing act with the right amount of water. Not too much water, but if it's not enough water and you let it go for hours, your soup can stick. So yeah, cooking is not a set it and leave it type of thing. You know, some things you can, but you still gotta check them at the right moment. Anyways, hey, it's time for the next fun part of the video, where we focus on getting better and better every day in every way with the help of this How to Develop a Winning Personality book. Don't you just love these things? I know I do. You know, coming up, I probably could even still use some help with the people skills, especially coming up. I really was just, Lord have mercy. But you know, in school they don't really have formal classes on how to deal with people and things like that. It's just kind of left to chance. And I think that people skills is the most important skills that you could develop. I think people skills are even more important than all that academic stuff that they push on you in schools, because most of that doesn't even come up in our daily lives. In fact, pretty much none of it does. But the people skills do. The people skills impact our lives on a daily, constant basis. Yet, we didn't have formal classes on them. So, you know, the education system is a little backwards, if you ask me. Somebody like me could have really used help in the people skills and personality department. But hey, that's why we recognize things as adults, and we take the steps to remedy them and to heal and give ourselves what we felt we missed, right? That's a part of being an adult and taking responsibility for your own growth, learning, and healing. So this chapter is called A Million Ways to Meet New People. Now, this book is old. Let me see, when was it written? What? Are you kidding me? Oh, it's 1963. But, so, you know, some of the technology might be outdated, but the knowledge and the wisdom are still very, very pertinent. Okay, It is a strange commentary on our social mores that, with the population of the earth increasing at an alarming rate, with highways and seaways and airways so crowded with trains and planes and cars and ships full of human beings that they move along, engine to caboose, nose to tail, bumper to bumper, and prow to stern, with schools and theaters and lecture halls and dance halls and concert halls and jails and parks and bars and apartment houses and churches and merry-go-rounds and stadiums and restaurants so jam-packed with people. It is a strange commentary that with all this abundance of God's children, there are still so many of us who do not know how to find among them a few sympathetic souls whom we can draw to our bosoms and say, let's be friends together. Let's commune together. Let's exchange thoughts and fears and aspirations and dreams and joys and sorrows. Strange though it be, the fact remains that thousands upon thousands of us move about in the world encased in personal iron curtains that keep us lonesomely imprisoned within, and our fellow human beings indifferently, even unknowingly exiled to the wide outside. I am periodically moved to pity by the plaintive cry, I don't know how to meet people. Oh, I have my family and maybe a friend or two, but I want romance, variety, adventure, excitement. I want to spread out. I want to exchange ideas with new people. I can't just walk up to a stranger and say, see here, I'd like to know you. I can't just pick people out of a crowd and get chummy with them. I want to expand my horizons. I want to grow outward. But how? How can I get to know new people? Well, I figured it out on my computer, and I find that there are precisely 1,063 ways to get to know new people. I don't mean just getting introduced to them so you know their names and little more. I mean really getting to know them as intimately as you may wish. This poses a problem. The publisher of this volume adamantly refuses to provide sufficient pages to list the entire 1,063 methods. Indeed, there is some question whether we can even find the space for the odd 63 methods without infringing on important chapters still to come. The problem is, how can we see to it that you get some benefit out of the findings of my computer? The only way out of the dilemma is the employment of a formula. Once you have a formula for the solution of a problem, you can, with the formula, solve all problems of the same kind. Thus, if we can arrive at a formula for meeting people on Main Street or in a factory, we can use the formula for meeting people on J Street or in school. Anyone then who becomes proficient in the use of the formula will be able to find for himself the entire 1,063 ways of meeting new people. Fortunately, though the formula is so little known as to be almost a secret formula, I have been able to ferret it out, and in a moment or two I shall reveal it to you. First, however, I want to assure you that you will not find in these pages any suggestion that you adopt the old methods that continue to be tried, though they have long been found wanting. You are not going to be advised to take courses in a night school, or to go to a dance, or to join a social club, or to take a tour, or a cruise with a travel group. It may be possible to make friends by doing these things, but many people walk home alone from night school and remain wallflowers or stag line habituates at dances, silent and unnoticed members of social clubs, and forgotten participants in group tours and cruises. The art of making friends, or at least cordial acquaintances, out of strangers lies not in going to places where strangers congregate, but rather in getting people involved in something with you as an individual rather than you as a member of a group. It is the involvement that counts, not the mere contact. It is your centrality in an activity or situation rather than the activity or the situation itself that matters. And there you have the secret. Let's take one of the discarded methods mentioned above and see how the formula works. Mary is lonely and blue, and her mother, full of pity, says, Mary, why don't you join a social club and meet some new people? Deciding she has nothing to lose, Mary takes her mother's advice. She joins the Midville Social Club, dues $3 a year. She attends all meetings, strikes up a nodding, even a speaking acquaintance with a few people. She participates in some measure in the various discussions that come up at membership meetings. For a few weeks, she begins to think that maybe her mother was right. But people are people, and Mary is Mary, and soon she finds that she has come up against her own iron curtain and some other little curtains containing cliques and old friends to whom Mary is a newcomer and an outsider, even though she is a fully paid-up member. No handsome, dashing swain finds her so alluring that he must sweep her off her feet. No friendly, sympathetic girl sees in Mary the true friend for whom she has always sought. And pretty soon, the only difference in Mary's life is that now she belongs to a social club. Her loneliness, which for a while had been mitigated by new contacts, now sweeps back into her soul with added intensity. That is the picture of Mary when she tried to meet people merely by going to places where people were and hoping that something would happen to cause some of these people to become an important part of her life. Well, I'm going to stop it here, and we'll pick up with this topic and see what happens in the next video. Hey, remember that you want to get into the receptive mode of what you want. Get into the receptive mode of what you want. Get into the receptive mode. Allow yourself to receive what you've been